Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. Today we're talking about Destiny 2's biggest upcoming change, or at least what I believe to be the biggest. This change is, as I'm sure you can tell from the title and thumbnail, it's the In-Game LFG coming with Season of the Wish, or Season 23, which is a little over a week away. First up, I am incredibly excited for this feature to be in our hands, and also a little worried, but I'll touch on that in a second. What I want to show you guys right now is this. 2 seasons, and I still don't have the navigator. I have 35 boss clears at the writing of this video, and I'm not trying to make this a pity party, but you know what would be nice? If I could consistently get a fire team to do my 3 clears each week. But I can't, because after the first 30 boss kills, my friends were understandably a little displeased with my RNG, and pretty sick of the absolute slog that a Samuma clear is. So if I don't manage to obtain this exotic this week, and Season of the Wish rolls around, I should be able to quickly LFG a team and knock out my 3 clears painlessly. But is that actually gonna happen? Well, this is where I want to mention a couple things about the execution of this feature, and some concerns that I have. Also, if you want to stay up to date with Destiny news about this feature, and just generally supplement your subscription feed with more Destiny info, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out, helps you out. It's a nice symbiotic relationship. Back to our Fireteam Finder. Firstly, the visuals here look great. Bungie's UI design has always been fantastic, and this is of course no exception. It seems like we will have a great deal of customization when creating our LFG posts, and this LFG system also looks pretty well thought out with all the standard MMO options, with accepting or denying applications, having required communication, all the things that you would expect. And these features seem much more in-depth than what we can do within an LFG Discord or whatever you use now. But what we're looking at with these images are indeed just mock-ups, a beta version of what we're actually going to get. So we should take all of this with a small grain of salt. Because yeah, things change. And as we just saw recently with Bungie's layoffs, a lot of stuff can happen behind the scenes without even the devs themselves really knowing. And that actually brings me to my second concern as we look forward to the implementation of this feature. And that is Paul Tassie's reporting that the devs didn't even know this was a planned thing before it was revealed back in August of last year. They also said that this was an incredibly complicated feature, which resulted in it being delayed from Season 22 to Season 23. Another thing here is that my thought process behind the introduction of commendations within activities was that it was all towards the end goal of having a community vetting system for when we need to invite that random internet stranger into our fire team. But if both commendations and this LFG system were developed independently, then we might be missing out on a great way to evaluate our blueberries. Which sucks, man. At the end of the day, if it continues like it seems it will, commendation score is straight up just another random number that goes up. And sure, there is a lot more to talk about with commendation score, as there isn't a way to dock points from toxic players or make it known that someone is just a bad person. But ultimately, if LFG is added with the absence of these features and it's received poorly, it won't take long for the Destiny community to let Bungie know that. And then the next thing, which is arguably the most important factor when dealing with public lobbies and LFGs, is how are they going to be improving communication? When was the last time you heard someone use voice chat? Because yes, honestly, if you didn't know, because I know there are people out there that didn't know, Destiny 2 does have voice chat, but I don't remember the last time I heard someone use it. I cannot imagine doing a raid like a Vow of the Disciple or a dungeon like Ghost of the Deep without communication. I just would not want to put myself through that. But luckily, we do have that voice chat. And if I remember correctly, it sucks. I'm talking like Xbox 360 mic quality. Which, like, who wants to listen to that? And then we also have text chat, which some people use now. Granted, it's opt-in for team and local chat. But for our fire teams, a majority of players are on console. And a quick text message is not really feasible in those communication heavy pieces of content. and I'd be impressed if someone could call out a stunned champion via text before that champion is no longer vulnerable. So hopefully Bungie knows their voice chat isn't really that great, and they're also planning on improving that front. Because the ability to set up a raid with strangers is cool, but I also want that to be a pleasant experience. And if I get a headache whenever I hear Blueberry1 call out, "I stunned that champion," I'll probably just stay away from LFG as a whole. All in all, I'm still looking forward to In-Game LFG, I just hope Bungie does it right without leaving anything behind. And that's not to mention, we haven't heard a single thing about this new feature since they last spoke about it during the final shape reveal in August of 2023. So I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if this feature got caught up in development from an unprepared dev team to a dev team hit by layoffs. All I'm saying is that as we get closer to Season of the Wish and we hear nothing, not a peep, that we should probably lower our expectations just a little bit, or at least be prepared for the worst. And something which actually is kind of pertinent to note here is I just wanted to remind you guys that we got no new exotic armor during Season of the Seraph, which was the final season of the year leading up to Lightfall. So if we are mirroring that development again as we move into Season of the Wish, which is the final season of the year leading into the final shape, if they had a hard time releasing 3 exotic armor pieces for a season, a feature like LFG is probably a whole lot harder to implement and a lot easier to get delayed, as we already saw it get delayed once. So while it's a bit of a negative note, who wants to bet LFG gets pushed back to the final shape? Well, regardless, I hope not. I'd love to see LFG next week, and I'm sure many others would be elated to see it as well. Let me know what you think is going to happen with the implementation of Fireteam Finder in the comments below. And also, if you'd like to support me and support this channel, a like, a comment, subscription, always super helpful getting my channel into the algorithm. But if you'd like to support me and you can't think of a comment down below, Fireteam Finder. And with that, as always, as usual, I hope you are having a great day, and I hope to see you around.